Today, we're deep diving into the Scorn enemy race in Destiny 2. If you're new to the game, figuring stuff out can take forever, so in this video, I'm gonna break down what each Scorn does and where to shoot them to get that yellow crit damage. That's a Screeb, and these weird, gross-looking bugs are gonna run right at you and try to blow themselves up. Normally, you'll see these in packs, and if they catch you with your pants down, you might as well say goodnight. To avoid their arc damage explosion, you can shoot them in the back for critical damage, and that'll probably set off the whole group. Or if you want to take the high road, you can run right at them and jump over their head. Exploding enemies love killing themselves while you fly safely above, and this can be a great tactic, but if the group of Screebs is on the larger side, staying back and using your guns is definitely the safest bet. This here's a Stalker, which is an undead version of the Fallen Dreg, and these are the foot soldiers that make up the bulk of the Scorn forces. Their ranged weapon is a Void Pistol, which is more annoying than it is scary, and every now and then, they'll lean back and throw a grenade that drops purple fire all over the ground. Get out of the way when you see it coming. Stalkers have a little mace that they can charge up with arc damage. When that happens, you'll see it light up, and more often than not, they're gonna try to hit you in the mouth with it. Shoot them in the head for crit damage, and you're gonna be just fine. Lurkers are another low-level soldier, and these former Scorn butlers brought their hors d'oeuvres tray to a gunfight. Typically, you'll see these with the same pistol you'd see on a Stalker, but these deal solar damage instead of void. Aside from a basic melee, their signature move is to hide behind their dinner plate, but if you shoot them in the toes, for whatever reason they open their arms out wide. You want to take that opportunity to put a bullet in their forehead. Ravagers look like a Walmart brand headless horseman. The weapon they use is called a sensor, and depending on the type of Scorn, it'll either be solar or stasis. These dudes pretty much always show up in groups, and aside from smacking you in melee range, their special ability depends on the element of their weapon. Solar Ravagers drop a fiery AoE explosion, which feels a lot scarier when there's 3 or 4 of them nearby. The stasis variant can freeze you in place, and a few of those back to back can wind up being deadly real quick. But no matter what type you're fighting, just jump backwards to create some space and shoot them in the pot to blow up the whole group. Real quick dudes, don't forget to press the like button and sub for more content like this. It really helps the channel, and you know the rest. I appreciate it. This here's a Wraith, and these beefcake meat shields really don't do a whole lot of much. The 2 torches they carry get swung around like a mace, and if you get hit, you'll take solar damage and burn a little bit over time. Just like my 7-year-old, their signature move is this nifty little twirl, and even though they have high health pools, they become finishable around 50%, which makes Wraiths one of the least dangerous enemies in the game. Raiders are one of the most common Scorn you'll see in the wild, and I'm not gonna lie, these guys are some deadly motherfuckers. The crossbow they use deals void damage, and when it hits, I promise, you're gonna know about it, so having a group of them aimed up on you might as well be a death sentence. Like an undead fallen vandal, their special ability is turning into a stink cloud to reposition, but you can see exactly where they're going, so I'm not sure who they're trying to fool. Every now and then you'll find a melee variant that uses their weapon like a shotgun. Just like their ranged counterparts, they'll obliterate you in the blink of an eye. No matter what content you're in, murder the raiders first, because if you don't, they're gonna take your head off and teabag your ghost. Say hello to the Abomination, because this walking corpse is basically just Frankenstein in space. These use a ranged electric blast that can be chained back to back forever. If you wind up getting close, they're gonna Hulk smash the ground, and both that and the lightning bolt deal a considerable amount of arc damage. Because they hit so hard and have a lot of hit points, as soon as you see them, just bust out a special or heavy weapon and shoot them right in their weird little pea head. Chieftains are the highest ranking, most interesting Scorn, and no matter where you find one, they're gonna have some type of elemental shield that you can break using the matching damage type. The weapon they carry, more often than not, is solar, and it'll wipe you out in just a couple of hits. Their special ability is to create totems, which die in only a few shots, but do different things depending on what element they are. Void totems make nearby enemies immune to damage, arc totems pull you into the center, and the solar version spits out 4 waves of fire and spins around in a circle. Eliminate the totems first, then focus on the chieftain, and for crit damage, like most humanoids, the head is the place to aim. The Scorn Walker is the emo cousin of the Fallen Tank, but with a few abilities that set it apart. The chassis is mounted with a flamethrower attachment that turns anything in front of it to burnt toast. If you decide to head into melee range, you're gonna get greeted by an arc ground pound that knocks you backwards. In addition to those, the gun on its back fires tracking missiles into the air, and those can be avoided, but they'll kill you real quick if you're not paying attention. You want to shoot this thing in the legs to get the crit, and when you deal enough damage, it's going to show you the real weak point and deploy an arc shield that forces you to go inside. Shooting the brain deals massively increased damage, and just a heads up, the tank explodes when it dies, so make sure your whole fire team isn't right next to it. If you want to see the breakdown of the Hive enemy race, click the card on the right. I'm Moonchild, thanks for watching.